Democratic Representative Melanie Stansbury of New Mexico torched Republicans on the House Oversight Committee for abdicating their responsibility of providing oversight for the federal government as Donald Trump and Elon Musk try to tear it all down from within.
Once again, welcome to the latest episode of the GOP Oversight Committee, where my colleagues at the beginning of this hearing once again voted to block a good government motion to carry out our most basic constitutional duty. They voted against a motion this morning, just a few moments ago, to bring Elon Musk in front of this committee to discuss what he is doing to supposedly right-size the government, as they are claiming in this hearing. And I have to say to my colleagues, with all due respect, why are you shielding Elon Musk from coming in front of this committee if that is what your intent is with this hearing and the work that you want to do? Why is the GOP in the White House shielding an unelected, unvetted, unqualified private citizen and billionaire who is literally dismantling our agencies while we sit here and is literally breaking the law? Maybe it's because while we're sitting here, he and his team are working across town here in Washington, D.C., entering federal agencies and federal buildings, hacking their data systems, firing federal employees, intimidating them, trying to force them to leave, shutting down vital programs, closing the Department of Education, the CIA, the DOJ, and threatening our domestic and international security, and downloading the private and sensitive data of Americans at the Department of Treasury. So what the hell is going on? How can you sit here and defend this? They are literally breaking the law, the Constitution, appropriations law, federal labor laws, and dozens of statutory laws that Congress has passed. And meanwhile, my friends across the aisle are sitting here today saying that we're hyperventilating, that we're just clutching our pearls. Are you serious? Are you that out of touch with the American people? I mean, I guess that's what happens when you elect billionaires and put billionaires in charge of the federal government. Just let them eat cake? Is that your message to the American people? Because last week, while you were at Trump's private resort in Florida and partying it up after the inauguration, telling the media that funding freezes wouldn't hurt real Americans, well, millions of real Americans were sent into total chaos, and our states had to go to the courts to shut down your federal funding freeze. While Trump was golfing, the Medicaid systems were shut down and locked out. Hospitals and clinics were wondering if they were going to be able to keep their doors open. Food assistance and homeless programs across New Mexico were shut out of their grant programs that keep families literally fed and off the streets. Head Starts, preschools, and children's programs were wondering if they were going to be able to make payroll the next day or by the end of the week. And while Elon Musk and a group of teenage software engineers were hacking your personal data at the Treasury Department, shutting down DOJ, the CIA, USAID, and ending diversity initiatives in the military, saying that the United States military could not honor Dr. Martin Luther King, our proud military personnel and veterans who put their lives on the line every day for this country were wondering if they were going to get their paychecks and veterans benefits. So, colleagues, we are not clutching our pearls or hyperventilating. We are defending the millions of Americans who are under attack, the federal employees, the mothers, the fathers, the grandfathers, being put out on leave, advocating for the people of color, the women, the members of our LGBTQ+, and yes, our trans community, who are under fire right now, under the guise of canceling DEI programs, under the guise of so-called undoing social engineering after years of progress in this country. We are defending the proud federal service members who defend our national security, who serve our communities, and keep our economy running. Because I want to tell you something, the American people are terrified, and if you are that out of touch with your people, then you should talk to your constituents. We had a town hall 2 days ago, and 12,000 1,000 New Mexicans got on our call because the people are terrified in this country. And that is why we are fighting back. That is why we are trying to bring Elon Musk to this committee. And that is why we are fighting against this agenda. And with that, I yield back.
Gentlelady yields. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Cloud, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chief Witnesses, for being here, and I apologize that you have to sit here and listen to the same sort of ideological rants that lost our friends across the aisle the election in a public survey just a couple months ago, where the hearts and minds of the American people spoke very loud and clearly for what they wanted. One of the things that's been puzzling about this whole conversation is the obsession on Elon Musk. When President Trump campaigned, he was very clear in what he wanted to do. And the talking is like this Doge idea was some secret thing that just popped up on the radar in the last week, when in the actuality is it's something that President Trump said he was going to do. He said Elon Musk would be involved with it, and the American people spoke loud and clearly that this is what they want. And so the only thing that's really surprising about what we've seen over the last 2 weeks is the fact that we have a president doing exactly what he said he would do.
Now, I want to remind you that the House Oversight Committee, for years under Republican control, focused on Hunter Biden, who had nothing to do with the federal government. And now Elon Musk, the billionaire, who has not sworn an oath to the Constitution and has no real oversight except for Donald Trump, is running free in the Treasury Department, has access to the trillions of dollars that the Treasury Department disperses. Now, I do want to say to Stansbury that Republicans are not out of touch. They know exactly what they're doing. They just don't care about their voters. They've lied to them for years. They've kept them misinformed and uninformed. They've not funded schools in their states. And so their electorate is just plain uninformed. We'll put it politely. You can even see that Republicans don't really care about this. There were a couple there in the front row on their phones, joking and laughing while Stansbury was talking. And then, of course, I included the Republican representative who spoke after Stansbury because of just how ridiculous his statement was. He said that Donald Trump campaigned on Elon Musk and Doge playing a part in his administration, and he was very clear about it. But was he clear that he was just going to hand him power inside the Treasury Department, breaking all sorts of norms and laws? He's also undoing critical relief and support systems for the American people that both Republicans and Democrats rely on. So I thought it was really interesting how he talked about how the language that Stansbury was using is what lost them the last election, when Donald Trump and the way he's behaving right now is going to absolutely wreck the Republican Party come the midterms in less than 2 years. So this Republican needs to kind of focus on what's ahead of him and maybe not do so much reflecting on the past. I mean, it also kind of goes to show you that these tribalist MAGA cult Republicans, these congressional Republicans in the House of Representatives, they're constantly just moving field goal posts so that they can try to come out as winners. Of course, he says that Donald Trump was crystal clear about what Elon Musk was going to do, even though he wasn't, right? But Donald Trump was crystal clear during the campaign. But then we look at what Donald Trump said last night about invading and owning Gaza. And Republicans are now saying, oh, no. He wasn't being crystal clear about that. He was musing and joking, and he's playing 3D, 4D chess with the world. See, there's no working with these people because they constantly play games, semantic games, and they're constantly moving the field goal post so that you can't come to a result with them. There's no working with these people.